Hello guys, it's me, Stark again, and I bring you a very interesting game today. Something very unique did happen. We do have two very good players here. Let's switch buffs here because what I want to show you here is how did Lewis play it. So we do have Lewis, winner of Sudden Disaster 2, play against Mr. Yo, who actually won the last 1v1 tournament against Hero, which I don't recall the name. So basically, let's take a look on how these two guys are facing each other on Arabia. So we have here very competitive players that both have won tournaments this year, very experienced ones, and we do have an Arabia game, and they're playing with Ethiopians for Lewis and Vikings for Mr. Yo. What is my expectation when I do see Ethiopians? I'm expecting this guy to play archers. Perhaps or not, he's gonna open with something else, like men at arms, and the same for the Viking. Since we are talking about a very high level, guys, often those guys punish each other when they try to open something like men at arm by just quick walling and making all that investment from their opponent to be wasted. So what I'm actually expecting here is regular ranged opening and how these guys are gonna play this map. So this should be how these things would go. Lewis would open an archer range, Mr. Yo would do the same, perhaps Lewis would try to mass archers to try and play later with archers plus crossbowmen and mangonel. Mr. Yo would probably defend with skirmishers and try to overcome the Ethiopian using his Viking economy. So this is how this game is scripted in the top player meta. But something very unique did happen here. Lewis found some opportunity that very few players would realize, and he already started to wall his map. Walling and denying the early fight to Viking was essential for his strategy to work. So he already started doing some small investment here in the walls. Mr. Yo was very unfortunate and did lost his scout to the TC, and that's a mistake punishable by death. Right here we are talking about Dark Age, and Lewis has walled around his town center, so no scout or militia or even small groups of archers can go through without getting completely destroyed. He is trying to lure a lot of ibex because this is actually a chicken map, and he is investing heavily here to wall his sides. He's walling this corner and he's walling the top. Now that Lewis is fully walled but his goals are outside, what is he going to do? He's going to do something that very few people would expect and try to do. He's going for a dock. Yes, guys, that's a dock. So he's basically going for a dock, leaving some space here for the fish to be made, and by making this dock, he does plan to make a small fish bone. You might ask me, does it work to make a dock on a single lake here with like a single box turtle? Not because of the box turtle, but because you can actually fit several fishing ships around this dock. Mr. Yo is on the next stage. He already add here a barracks and is starting to make archers. He's also eating the chicken, already investing into the farming. Let's take a look on Mr. Yo's economy. Man, that's a very good game. He does have the wood upgrade, he does have the free wheelbarrow, he's going now for the gold, he has started to make a single archer to go there, scout, and see what Lewis is doing. He does see that Lewis is actually going for an archer range, and he's trying to pressure him with the archer. He knows that Lewis is fully walled, so that's all the information that Mr. Yo has, and Lewis is trying to counter him by using a few skirmishers. He's truly focusing here on the walling, so he does have a palisade layer already reinforced by houses, so even for a feudal age army, this is difficult to bypass, and especially in the matchup that we are talking here, Vikings versus Ethiopians, they're most likely not going for early melee units, so taking down these constructions here is quite a difficult task. So Mr. Yo is just developing the eco, going out for the blacksmith. He did stop making army after going for that single archer and spearman push, and he is about to click to the next stage. So according to his own idea here, well, I am safe, I know where my opponent can actually attack me, I did kill his scout, and I know that he's playing with an archer range, so I'll be fine just clicking and defending with a minimum amount of investment. But of course, finishing the walls can be quite helpful to defend and deny any kind of damage. So Yo is in a great shape, fully walled on the way to the castle age, making a lit skirmisher, getting more eco upgrades, and once in castle he will have access to hand card. So he should be ahead on the economy, right? He should. He should be a red, but he's not. And the reason is Lewis is constantly investing here into fishing ships. He already has 7, 2 more on the quill. So basically his plan is I go there, make a fishing ship, go there and make a fish trap. And just by making several of those, this means that he's very ahead on the economy. While Mr. Yu went up with 33 villagers, Lewis has 37 regular views plus 9 fishing ships. So he'll basically be like 10 economical units ahead of Mr. Yu by the time both are on castle wage. That's a very magnificent way of playing the game. He did place a tower. He wants to play safe. He doesn't want to get his gold disrupted. He could have gone for this gold, but why not already seeking some more map control? And he is already dropping like a second archer range and investing here into the archers. So there's Lewis, and Mr. Yu has appeared here with elite skirmishers. If there's one small detail that could give away the strategy from Lewis here is, okay, I dive into his town center with elite skirmishers and I spot no farm. Why would Lewis not make a single farm on this side of the town center? Why would a guy make basically no investment on food whatsoever? So I think that if Mr. Yu did spot how few farms Lewis had, he would probably realize that something's off and this guy has some fish economy. The problem is the fish economy, guys, is walled in a corner of the map and there is no army that can reach it. So basically this map was perfect for Lewis to execute that strategy. If you can see, there are several small pounds here on Arabia, but none of those is like fully walled here for Mr. Yu. It's not like he has a pound right there that he can actually counter. So he's actually investing into army. He's like not getting what Lewis' plan is exactly. Lewis is already going for the last fishing ship and also investing here into gillnets. Gillnets is this upgrade for the docks that would just boost the economy that is going to be produced here by the fishing ships. It does increase in how many percent? 25%, 20% their gather rate. So that's a lot for an economical unit. So basically these 11 fishing ships are working as like 13 plus something fishing ships. Basically 13 economical units extra here for Lewis. And Mr. Yu is only now adding his secondary TC. Of course, free wheelbarrow and free handcart are very helpful to boost the economy from the Vikings, but look what Lewis is about to do, guys. He did make a siege workshop and a mangonel, and now he'll probably add another building because he's getting very close to click to Imperial Wage. Already going Rev here for the stone in order to drop a castle. An Imperial Age faster and a castle can be quite insane. And he's also going for an extra town center. Now he does realize that he's lacking the building and does the monastery. Monastery, and there we go. Imperial Age. Crazy, right? How many farms? So far, only one. And he's on the way to Imperial Age with all these fishing ships collecting enough food for him. Honestly, those fishing ships alone could just keep a 2TC production, like forever. So this is great. It's a small investment here. Compared to what gives you. But in most games, and especially Arabia, you do not find a situation for you in order to produce that. So that's very unique, but Yo is not out of game, guys. Yo is Viking. He is booming with 3TCs. He's controlling the map. He has elite skirmishers and crossbowmen with all the upgrades here, plus 2 armor, plus 2 attack. He's also making mangonels. So Yo is probably planning to keep the map control here, and he's not expecting that Lewis will soon reach Imperial Age. He thinks that they are just playing a regular castle. At least that's what I think. Maybe Yo is like levels ahead of me and he already realized what the situation is. But I don't know. So Yo is trying to pressure. He does out-micro some of the siege from Lewis. And oh shit! Imperial Age already? How is that possible? Maybe what Yo is thinking right now is, okay, this guy went Imperial Age. If he does had a regular economy, he probably has around 50 views. I'm like 20 views ahead. All that I have to do is to keep the pressure, keep the conflicts, and keep trading units and not allow Lewis to move outside of his base, because eventually I'm going to outscale him with my Viking economy. So that's how Mr. Yu should be thinking on this moment. And Lewis is investing into extra siege workshop. He's trying to do something here using the views and the crossbowmen with bracer. He's even bringing villagers ahead here, aiming to make the castle. And oh, nice dodge here with the siege. But he did fail to snipe, and oh. Now he does snipe the enemy siege. The villagers keep attacking. Lewis has Ethiopian archers that fire faster, and he also has both bracer and chemistry, so he has a very good army for this stage of the game, and he starts to drop a forward castle. If I were you, I would already be confused. I mean, this guy goes for like a 27-minute Imperial Age. This means that he was able to click around 23. And he still has resources to make a castle. He's probably connecting the dots, but he's just reacting. He's adding a defensive castle that's going to shield his economy. He's already on the way to Imperial Age as well. And there comes Lewis attacking him with bombard cannons. Those are the bombard cannons. He does spot a castle from Mr. Yo. He's now taking down the other buildings with the mangonel and focusing all the fire from his cannonballs on the enemy castle, while also making a forward castle. Meanwhile, Lewis has already started to take the relics. Small armies are not handling to fight against the bombard cannons. And he is developing his economy by adding already a third TC here on this very good spot that allows him to consume both wood, gold, and that's a nice reaction. I think that if you are getting downplayed on the siege or in the long distance scenario here, or if you are playing against some kind of fast Imperial Age, one of the best things you can do is try to open a second front. And Yo is doing great. Instead of just focusing on fully defend his base, trying to counterattack from this position, he's actively going and attacking Lewis from a different spot, using siege, using a castle drop, forcing him to run, using a lead skirmisher. Basically, he's trying to force Lewis to split his attention, to divide his attention into two different fronts, this one and that one, and that will give him extra at least extra chances of taking down the bombard cannons, because honestly, fighting without bombard cannons against the civilizations that has access to these guys is such a nightmare. And Lewis is just eating out all of the economy of Mr. Yo using small groups of crossbowmen. The bombard cannons are just eating TC, house, buildings, and Mr. Yo, that's trying to counter and do something similar, is achieving fairly some good success here. He's about to kill the second TC from Lewis, he's killing some of his ranges, but he still has no answer whatsoever, guys, to the bombard cannons. The bombard cannons are a nightmare for the Viking player here, especially on this stage of the game. Vikings have a very weak cavalry, their infantry is good but slow, and honestly, in order to make a switch into infantry, let's think about something like champions. You would actually need a lot of upgrades, you would actually need a good economy. Mr. Yo economy just got pressured to the back. He barely is keeping his eco working, he's trying to rebuild, so he's far from the point of the game where you can actually go for champions. And honestly, even if he did, there is still some other problems here for Mr. Yo to make his infantry useful. The first one is the bombard cannons can actually run towards the castle positions, and then the castle can deal with the infantry. If he doesn't actually take down the cannons in one shot, the cannons can be repaired. That's another issue. And right here, Lewis just moved all of his cannons to go there and kill everything else. He's also giving a lot of focus to the bombard cannons. As you can see, he already has siege engineer, so this means extra range, and this means extra damage versus building. He does spot a monk and kill it. He's now going for torsion and giants upgrade, guys. Disclaimer, this upgrade is OP. Torsion and Giants is a unique upgrade from the Ethiopians that it will give extra blast radius for your siege workshop units. Stark, please translate. Yes, I will do. This is a bombard cannon. It has a 0.5 blast radius. This means that when a bombard cannon like this shoots a group of skirmishers, it will take down more than one skirmisher at once. It can take down several skirmishers, but now with this upgrade it got almost doubled this effect. So now these cannons shoot like a mangonel. they shoot, and even if they miss, they actually take several amount of area, deliver damage to several amount of area. So this group of units here is going to have a nightmare. Dodging from those cannons was already difficult, but now it's nearly impossible. They are gonna hit something, and with all the upgrades, Lewis just has to go there and control the distance, not to allow Mr. Yo to close the gap and snipe his bomber cannons. So things are becoming a lot easier for him. His economy looks fine. It's not like he needs a lot of economy. He actually needs map, and he is basically controlling the Mr. Yo main gold, Mr. Yo second gold, the relics. So he's just denying Mr. Yo to do something here out of his game. When Neo tries to attack him, he just gets the cannons and run towards the castle. And, well, even the skirmishers are having a bad time doing something here. There comes the bomber cannons, killing everything. Skirmishers will try to snipe them. Run, skirmishers. Run, because this is such a problem for you. And that's it. Whenever Mr. Yo gets closer, he also gets sniped, and with a few villagers together, he can just keep his bomber cannons on a health stance. Honestly, I think that the one thing Lewis is missing here is a small group, and truly small. I'm saying like 10 arbalests to kill these eventual units those units that are eventually getting closer to his bombard cannons. Mr. Yo is still trying to open different front, but he doesn't have enough economy to properly do that. He has a single TC, trying to go for the second, barely having access to his units. This is such a nightmare, and all of that started by spotting that pound and creating a strategy around it. Another castle here from Lewis trying to keep the map control, and okay, this is game over. Now there are arbalests making cover for the bomber cannons. Those are 10 bomber cannons with all the upgrades. They can pretty much eat all the buildings, they can pretty much deal with other siege, they can deal with ranged units. The only stuff that Mr. Yu could actively try here was to snipe the cannons, but now, with Ethiopian crossbowmen giving cover to it, with multiple castles spreading throughout the map, it becomes a very difficult challenge. Lewis is just walking and shooting whatever he wants. Very good game, skirmishers are no more, castle is no more, buildings are all falling down. Yo attempt here to raid and do something, just get crushed here by shuttle warriors, even on their basic version, but with +4 armor, are a great counter to siege, and there's no way for Mr. Yo to take gold. All of his gold is on a danger zone. He's trying to reclaim this area for himself using some trebuchets, but the bomber cannons are moving towards there, and he's about to have all of his army annihilated. Good move by Mr. Yo. He's jumping on the cannons. Very brave man, huh? Brave man, brave man. Let's see how many cannons he's gonna kill. So far no cannons were killed. Elite skirmishers are trying to close the gap, but with multiple cannons here, they don't even stand a chance. What a massacre from the Ethiopian against the Vikings, exploiting the lack of proper counter to bomber cannon and exploiting his economy here with the use of the pound. I don't know how long it took for you to realize that this was a thing, or if he did not, but even if he did realize, guys, what could have he done? How would you have played this game in a different way if you were Mr. Yo? Have you ever used a pound in Arabia? I will just leave those questions for you guys, and I hope you did enjoy these games as much as I did.